Hello, hello. I'm doing all right. I feel like I spent most of the day not really doing anything productive. But I guess I deserve a break today. The Acelica. The Hey Acelica. Vocalizer being funny already. Just gonna start it. Hey duck, hey stranger, how are all of you? I'm just resetting vocals real quick. Testing my vocals 1, 2, 3. Thank you for the ribbon done. That's a new one. Either way, I know normally tonight would be deluxe down. That is Dullock Town, I mean. But I just figured we would continue going with this. Since we had so much progress going on last night. And I suppose we'll have to get used to doing games, one after another, if I plan to play Blue Reflection Second Light. Thank you, Dow, thank you. Oh my, I don't really consider the numbers like that to be that much of an achievement. I recognize that it is. Did people like it? But I kind of put more value in did I have a good stream, did I provide a good result? Stuff like that. If the stream went Well, if I feel like get a good thing here, that's all that really matters to me. And go ahead and get stuff written down, Gail. You're welcome to just hang out here as much as you need to. So what we came across last time is a timeline in which MoMA has been around for 800 years, 900 years. Earth was very much in ruins at that point in history. But we contested some high-level AI that was attempting to organize the remainder of the planet. And in the process we sent back Moma's new memories of with Haste the dog, and everything that's happened. So now we can go back to Alpha with the new memories supposedly. And that will bring us back to Gamma right here. Which will unlock the final ending. Also Haitian. I can do this on roguelike mode, but I don't really need to. I'm kind of here to see the story at the moment. And it's just kind of like the idea that I would like to be able to beat this for stream. And if we failed out of a run, then that's kind of some time lost in a way. We can try messing around with the stars. Yeah, on Timeline Alpha you only get one ring. Difficulties overall much lower, though I could probably do this on roguelike without any concern. Okay, the spears are pretty good. I will take this for now. We did finish Gamma with our first attempt. It was very incredibly close. So I would actually recommend going back and watching him out. Oh, really? It really doesn't want to say you today. It's just kind of acknowledging years of existence. Yeah, we were kind of yapping a lot in that Discord. You know what I find? I kind of realized I probably should have checked the spaceship to see if anything changed there. But given that Moma doesn't seem to have many different responses to anything so far, I think things are going to change when it comes to we get towards you in haste. Hachi. Yeah, either solution's fine. Alright, Gail, and you take care. The service event seems to even travel our way to Gamma. Hello, really? That will work, I guess. It's kind of just a mess of spears, but we have done good things with piles of blades as a weapon. There's things here. No time to waste is a good one. We would have to build for gun. Guns and spears may kind of work together. Although Royal Edge could also work if you get the thing that transfer is part of sword's power to nearby blocks, so they might go for that. Gray, and then there's like these spinning discs that we saw now around. Alright, let's deconstruct a few things. Because I want to try out a rotary blade. I need springs and spikes. Well, I have at least 4 free spikes, so we can keep those. Thing to know. Alright, golds are worth a lot right now. That's a good. Let's do some good trades first. And they should make it easier to buy the rest of the stuff. I only needed 2 springs, I think. But I might want to make more blades later, so it may just be beneficial to do like this. Good to know. Now, did that rotary blade require anything else? No, cool. So chat, has there been any other interesting indie games you've seen recently? This one's going to be pretty simple. I'll take this, I guess. We might hit up the shop just for a chance at more spikes. Yeah, I kind of feel that, Doc. At least I don't really keep track of what triple businesses are doing. What's it about weekly? What do you do in it? They also have Frova. I don't think ever said that. To be fair, it's not usual that I tend to get to see you on stream. I'm very glad you're here, though. Because it now means you're a captive audience, while I convince you to become a gyro rabbinic. But if you need sleep, go get it, hun. And do tell me about both games. Salika, nothing new has happened yet, really. We didn't check out the spaceship to see if anything changed there. But I imagine the changes are going to happen when we meet you in Hachi. I don't really know much about designing tanks, but I wouldn't be against giving a shot. Yeah, we unlocked saws last time. I suppose that's true, we did. I can still look at it. Probably nothing much to do here. No negative, sir, move. So we'll probably just keep going. I was liking the spears. That sounds interesting for over. That sounds interesting. I don't know what vocalization is doing tonight. But I'm always up for mysteries and pixel art. Era, take a look at it real quick. Oh, I see. He had that is pretty. It's got like a sort of 2.5 thing going on. Are you marketing to me? Roof. Yeah, it's got a little bit of that fez thing going on, kind of. More rotary blocks. We know what to do with those. I suppose this is the era of shilling, but you'll find that I don't advertise myself. I really should. But it's just kind of a drag, you know. I don't want to bother doing that. I will start doing it eventually. especially given that the Omar model debut will be soonish. I mean, I'll let you all know in advance before it's really thing. Also, welcome back, Gail. You've made it back to see us attack thing that Sauls and Spears. Yep, he might just be very stressed out. If you've got something chill you can do, I would just do that. Roof, you would be happy to know that Dryly is still alive, even in Gamma. He still hasn't gotten to go home yet, but still alive, still Drylan. I don't really know what else we can do with this build. Maybe we'll just go for stock in him. It's more like Julie's counter is broken, he doesn't know how to stop. But in Gamma we do teach them the purpose of drawing for the sake of drawing, because he likes to. Stress can sneak up on you. Doing nothing doesn't mean that you won't be stressed. Fun. Well, Gail, did you do anything fun today? Because stress can build up simply from not having needs and wants met. If that's all you've done, then I would find something to play, or something fun to do today. And then tomorrow, you can do whatever it is you need to do. That's perfectly fine, stranger. I don't mind being background noise. It looks like we might need to take the idol. Possibly. I'm imagining the prioritized flag means is going to override anyways. But will we? Well. I... We'll do this just to be sure. If that was even a concern, because now there shouldn't be any priority on the ending timeline, so we've definitely guaranteed to get the ending we want. We are just going quick through this. So with the spears, these are merged blocks, so I'm only looking at its 4 of the required 6 to make a solid lake. That will just have to do for now. We did just kind of jump headfirst into a storm, but that's okay. I wanted to make it to the cave. Recycling simulator. We could technically unlock the other endings if I didn't do this. Well, at least the other outcomes here. But I don't really see a point as to not do it. I can always get those later. Yet I had that exact thought, Celica, the first time this happened. It's so bothersome. It does seem the Baron run into them, it kicks them further. High octane gameplay, right here. Come on. There we go. I think that deserves a buns personally. Wheatley was already on it. Alright, Squid Thing, meet my stairs of death. Well, I tried. Well, now that the allegations are over, Wheatley, I would say we do. Alright, we've got plenty to trade. Are you forgetting that I'm a romantic, Celica? I feel like that situation's possibly a little bit unlikely. Just clean this guy out. Alright, it's time for more saw blade. I think we have determined that you are an honorary lesbian, though so kind of. I mean, anything can be Yuri if you do enough mental gymnastics. Trying to decide what would be the best orientation for the saw blades, to do them vertical or horizontal, because then you could do the spears in the opposite direction. Spears do better, or his aunt also maybe. We'll do these vertical. Why was that auto-modded? That was filed under name calling. Geez, Fruit, you're really triggering that Adama. Weekly, that word is a derogative of it. Slang derogative that nobody uses anymore. The irony being that the original island is Lesbos. So yeah. When did I do that? It may be reclaimed at this point. I wouldn't know. It dislikes Lesbos lowercase. Cheese fruit. Try the island of Lesbos. It's science time. We must figure out how Automa thinks. Okay, Automa, it's just Beka. Well, that was a diversion. Don't make me work extra chat. I have a timeout button. Smile, smile. You're just going to do that. Your message isn't going to show because I'm not doing anything about it. I would go outside of the space we have, but it just wouldn't be a good idea. So if you want to get yourself automated, feel free. That is actually not Don't intentionally try to trigger Automa unless it's for an actual joke. Just to be clear. I wouldn't suspect anyone to misdoings with that here, but just to say. Shinny, we were finding out that Automa does not like the island of Lesbos. It seems to pick up some odd things every once in a while. Well, the thing about that idea, Rufus, is that it's not going to auto module for foul language, unless it's a slur, I suppose. Or you ask the show Bobs. We could put another spear on here. I think I got a plan. I'll put the saw blades near the sides. On the opposite end from her, the spear pokes out. Thank you for the ribbon, Celica. Okay, the only problem with this idea as I still don't have enough room to jam in a second spear. As the plan was intended to do. Well, it's fine. We shall just apply spikes, I guess. And assign the reason why is as determined by the hamster stream. I am not a looktuber. So I cannot allow wolves here. Something say so. Oh, I know a few Bobs. But see, if you type that in chat Shinny to show Bobs, it will not let you do that. This was a very old running joke on new streams. Yeah, not new. We'll see if anything changes here. But it might have something to do with the ending. Like this might be the only thing that changes at the ending. I'm presuming it's going to happen at the time the memory transfer all happens. So the bitter Moma, that becomes Bear, doesn't take control. Yeah, he was nowhere around. I still wonder, given the ring and the appearance, if he is also an android of some kind. Cause he looks very much like Moma does. Yeah, Wheatley, that's the name. I'm just sometimes it doesn't register right. I'm still unsure on that Celica. She might just believe that she is still a human on this road. But there is also an implication from the rocket smith. That there is someone who looked like Moma before we came there, even before the Moma Reno was created in Gamma. Because Gamma was only like 800 years or something. And the Smith mentioned like an extra 60 years. Spring shockwave could be interesting. I'll just take this, I guess. I'm wondering if the whole thing at the very start of this is something related to Nemesis, the boss we fought in Gamma. There is no reason to apologize for that duck. Nobody is obligated to chat. You are just a very welcome community member. Alright, we want some stock any. Aside from me, what? Oh yeah, and I have to chat. I mean, I could just do that. It wouldn't exactly be entertaining. Thing being is I do need to learn that I don't have to talk 24/7. There is definitely room for space. Silence has its value. Let's get more stock market. So that should increase her base power by a decent bit. Yeah, I'm not worried about battery power none. Well, I would like to keep up this set of discussion going if possible. Sometimes I just don't always know what to talk about. Yeah, I saw that coming. I have mentioned that the model progress is done and I might show some off tomorrow. I feel like it'll be a pretty good show of everything cause the model's nearly done. Yeah, and really if you've got something and there is no conversation really going on, just toss it out there. I am desperate for talking point. part of me doing this is to try to get better at being a conversationalist. Sorry, I was just looking at emote progress. We can make tons of money off of stock right now, if I didn't care about keeping it for attack power. Well, if you were sleeping shitting, did you sleep good? I really don't feel like we need any more of these pieces. Oh, did it really just say that? Okay. I thought that was not intended. Funny enough, this is the second time that vocalization has cursed out Shinny. Because like one of the very first times I tried to pronounce his name, it came out as bitch for some reason. So yeah, it happens. You haven't missed too much, stranger. We have just been running really quickly through this road, nothing's changed just yet. And my vocal solution is swearing out Shinny again for no reason. Which I absolutely do not intend. Shinny is lovely. I asked what you were talking about, Wheatley. That is kind of the inevitable results of a streamer getting bigger. It's a bittersweet thing. See, I don't even know if sticking this sword on here is even a good idea. But this is funny. Incredibly large amount of blades. It is just a death trap. I mean a roof. We did do a tackle bill. See, I don't even really intend to get that large personally. This is kind of more for me to just hang out and do stuff. Find people who are interested in the same things I am. But yeah, I don't really have any large ambitions to grow big. It makes sense for Naya and her living situation. My interest in this has always just been to find the community aspect. I think the small little community of folks hanging out is kind of neat. Perhaps exemplified by the fact that I don't really do a whole lot of advertising myself or anything like someone looking to get big would probably do. I'm very happy for her. I mean, we used to talk like all the time way before she got big or as large as she did, and how busy she is now. But we're still very good friends. As perfectly fine, Silica. I know what you mean. So I have all of these spikes and I might be able to do something with them. But it's very tricky. But I'm going to try and do as it do it, like this. We managed to work one more solid blade out of the mess. This is the funniest death trap I've ever made. But I'm incredibly happy for. Me and what she's got now. Just happy she's doing so much better. Because her mood, and how open she is now is such a difference compared to how it used to be. Meanwhile, here I'm just hanging out. I never really had any bigger goals than that, which is why I've focused more cheering for her than for myself. If by some measure I start to get larger, I will probably pivot off towards doing charity stuff maybe. Cause I want to do some of that, but you have to have a decent community to have a draw. I'm still going to see if I can get into Jingle Jam, or something like that. Because at the moment, I make enough that I don't need any extra money to survive. Now is it a slightly nebulous position? Yes. But if I was ever actually in need of something to help my income, you would know. Don't worry, Weekly, I would not do that. Even if I somehow become famous, which I am not someone who likes the idea of that. Anyways, this is a lot of future talk for a game that has a story with time travel. So far I'm not seeing any changes in the story, yet so it might be in the ending. I mean, stranger, if I do get big, I appreciate your support. And Shinny, I don't think she really minds. She is just happy to have the chats, you know. Okay, this is starting to change slightly. Maybe. Okay. That's not supposed to be there. That is not supposed to be the chat. That's the thing from the Gamma boss. Kind of stuck in place, it's not great. Was I supposed to attack it instead? I hope I didn't mess up. It's a good topic to talk about, I think. Okay, here we go. That's a change. And yes, Stranger the piano mode is so good in this game. Lightning blocks. Interesting. Alright. Time for Gamma, I guess. Ah, yes, it is Celica. It's dated very much later. And very suddenly, alright, and since this is Gamma, this is going to be tough. We'll take some random blocks, I guess. I'm still not exactly sure what is the most optimal approach there. Kind of like that. I will go for the event, I suppose. It's always a very good dynamic vehicle. It's kind of like how in comedy, you have the straight man and the funny man. It creates a contrast. Celica, I not only liked seeing them, I very much will welcome the revelations. I'm here to experience storylines and stuff. I want to see what people are thinking. I would ask, but it would feel very plushy if I kept asking about all the time. So very much welcome anyone's commentary on what's going on. I mean, I kind of prefer a sort of let's play style anyways. So I want to see what you're thinking. Yeah, it's always a million floors, but likely, they go by fast. I mean, there was like a mystery dungeon-ish type game, and like the PlayStation 1. It's not a very good rep, but like you have to climb 1,000 floors or something in it, and it really asks that of you. I don't know if I could sit around for 100 floors. Who would be quite a venture? And it's all right if you're just chatting a bit. Alright, when we find dryly, we can make a great sword. I can do 2 swords though if I do it like this. I can't get a sword hilt in there. I don't have the materials for it anyways. So the damage on the shield should go up if I remove those. Though I would really like to have more things to block with, I don't think I have much of a choice at the moment. This time at least we have a real weapon for this fight. Yeah, that was going to happen, I was just too close. Yeah, I tried to jump it, but couldn't do much about it. This is hurting quite a bit more than I would like it to. Is the ground shockwave really messing with me? It's dark time. So what we have to make sure we find on this run is the frozen laboratory, which will probably tell us what happened with Typhon in the meantime. Ah, that could be an interesting thing to play. But we'll probably just take unwavering heart. Shirley is here. I mean, the Hoji modes are appreciated. The thing comes up with some interesting words. And as always, singular words are nightmare fuel. There's just not much I can do with the build at the moment. We're just kind of missing the blocks that would let us push to some sort of different build type. I'll hit the shop up. Heart emote is still the closest thing I have to a hood. And we could get a lightning rod and try that out. But I still think it would be better to just focus on a shield for the moment. That does remind me that I still need to add the pumpkin emotes and the gift emotes. This could work out well for us. Only the normal mode. Merchant guy who's wandering around, the guy who looks like a bird. That's the only one that will let you trade in bulk. I can drop this and then do this, which is a much better. Result, so I can take, and I guess put a spike on there, and one down here. If you don't mind, I'll let you listen to this music while I go manage something with my remote commissions. I don't like making my artists wait, if I can help it. I'm almost done. Alright, we're back. The Ohio autumn mud caught up on. Hello Bites. Welcome to the chat. I invited you into the chat and allowed your message just so I can ban you. Joe needs to eat after all. Replay there was a standard stream back then. You know the usual ones are autumn mod cottage. But Joel needs to eat, so I. This guy is always so annoying. There we go. See weekly, I don't want to get big. So purchasing free viewers is not going to help me. It's quite possibly the opposite of what I would like. Gold blocks are valuable this time around. I know. And yeah, the idea of being famous has never really appealed to me. I'm someone who's often very private about things. I would like to leave a mark on the world, but I don't want people watching me while I do it. Or at least like the eyes of the world crowding over me kind of thing. A small little group of people watching me is preferable. I can say it does bring up an odd little topic. I don't mind if you use it. But I'm not really a fan of the word base. It has no meaning. Like ostensibly it means I respect your unpopular opinion. As much of a common definition to it that I can give. But it's a word that feels like it's very frequently co-opted by people to try and justify their prejudices and otherwise ill behavior. It's got like two meanings, I would say. First one is like that's cool. And the second one is that's an unpopular opinion that I also think is cool. I just always see it being used to agree with the not so great things myself, but I know it gets used in harmless context as well. It just feels like it's very aggressively used by those people. I would take this into a darkness run, but I really feel like Amma is the wrong place to be doing a darkness run. But I can understand wanting to spice up your lexicon. We either go in on saw blades, or we go in on lightning rods. Goodling up there really of her relics would suggest a build type. I kinda want to try the lightning rod out just to see how it goes. So I might refrain from spending all of her money. $5 pieces isn't a bad investment. Yeah, I have some words that sneak back into my language very often, legit and ironically. Little bits. Word like itself. I want to ask you what the job was that they actually had a requirement, and how you had to speak. Obviously, that's a little too personal. I don't mind. If you don't want to say. What do you mean if there are disconnected blocks? Okay, I guess the edges of the shield don't count. That worked. We actually have really extra enough that we could tack on another sword over here. Which might be the play with their build. We'll stick it down here. And I suppose that makes sense, Jimmy. Alright, this is kind of a thing that we've got going. I want to do like this because I don't want that little round block to get in the way of the shock rod. Alright, was just doing more emote stuff. We should have the emotes pretty soon, hopefully by the time I do the model, but right, this is a fight I wouldn't have to do if I had to. Fix the beta timeline. Yeah, there are worse ways to find out that you have cancer. Best I could do. So yeah, choose how to use your timer, which is a little bit annoying. Saw that coming. But Hachi is doing his best. Okay. What I'll try and do at some point is I'll try and go back and run a beta and fix up this event. I want to take Indivisible Miracle. That negative will be absolutely lethal for us right now though. But I wasn't watching to see when the next drill station was coming up, but probably soon. Okay, it's right next ahead. Perfect, and there's also the cave. Alright, we'll need to get Dryly some help here. We're going to have like a war pick this time. Or I'm going to have to pull some bronze blocks off. Okay, I can't take that off. I need how many blocks of silver too? Three, two, and one, right? Yeah? Either one messes up or construction, but we've got to do this, so we have to take the one that hurts the least. So this will have to be the plan for now. Alright, and we can get rid of this negative. And that should give us some more defense. Alright, let's move this up. Don't have enough space yet. I'm silly. More ammo stuff 1 second. Alright, done with that, my apologies. I guess since this is a game I just kind of found randomly, and didn't expect he would like as much as I have. Do you and Shad have a game that you'd like a lot but you didn't expect to? Chad? Think that one's just a matter of me not speaking clearly. I have to kind of sometimes use an awkward accent. Because Vocalizer doesn't really like my normal one. Well, we've got lots of healing. Pepper Lily makes sense for you weekly. I mean, that's kind of how you found the whole connected community here. Or at at least it was through recommending that to me. I ended up missing a decent few of the paper little streams, so I honestly need to go back and watch those sometime when they become available. That was around the time that I started to get kind of busy on my side, and my internet wasn't working really well. So I kind of missed that one a little bit. Did she have all the vodka on that playlist? Because I know there is some she said she didn't have up yet. Okay, I'll have to go and watch through them again sometime. That rotational block is looking like a good sell at this point. A lucky welcome on in. We are just out playing it interestingly. Vocal. I played a lot. It's quickly turned into one of my favorite games. Stories about chain of events we're trying to resolve. Chain of events we're trying to resolve. Thank you vocalization. It does that sometimes. Sorry about that shot. That's a rare occurrence that it does on a normal sentence. And as for erasing Zelikow, given how much you like it, trails in the sky does make sense for you as well. Man, this thing is just not liking me tonight. Some defense there might be a good idea. I'll do it for now. I kinda don't like it, but I can get a hole drilled so I can change the shape a little bit here. That's an odd place to put it, but you know that sounds like Naya. I always do it in the wrong direction. That'll have to work for now, I suppose. We have enough blocks, I think, to restore the shield. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I think this will work out. Now I don't think with the way that one sword relic we have works that it's properly. Now that's understandable, Shinny. What have we got going on here? There's a number of good things to grab stock. Getting him his way up. Let me trade very simply. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't just pick these up over here. I feel like I remembered the part of the stream wherever that came up at, but I don't actually remember what was the concerning information. Oh right, can I make any changes here? Not really. So right now the sword's only getting .2 attack bonus. Yeah, it gets way more if it's directly connected, so we don't even really need sword hilts. That's understandable, I would say. I feel like that the fence might be necessary on this route just because of how much damage and bullets goes flying. Yeah, Duck is still around. I'm sure. Yeah, I suppose Duck sleeping at all feels like a slightly unusual thing. Highly efficient being. Dog face. Hachi is so cute. It's fine to have a catchphrase word, Shinny. Well, almost done is pretty good. You've done some good work, Gale. Sad moment time. If you want the context for this, and you haven't seen the stream, then check the last VOD. Because I am probably going to run over time tonight, trying to make it the end of this. So I don't have a lot to do with the taking it slow on the story for this one. Mate, we've seen it already. It's been 2.5 hours. Now we have indivisible miracles. All these 5 damage bullets actually don't really do anything to us. Yeah, I can just kind of stand in the bullets on this fight. Although haste doesn't seem to understand sometimes that I can take damage. I will just go ahead and go and get some more for free while we're at it. Stock trading. Or as it's better known, legalized gambling. Only temporary. It's Momo taking part in it, not me. Compared to the first run, we're doing much better. I would suggest against that weekly. The circular deal and investment. And pile is not science of a burgeoning market, but a very sick one. I don't know. if the electrocution's really doing much for us. I'll try to reorient it this way. Everyone with a lick of sense does, although no one can say what the repercussions will be. Good chance of being dire, as is. Theoretically, the earlier it pops, the better, as the consequences will be less dire than the consequences do have a cookie. Problem is with bailing them out is that there's barely any money for it. I suppose they don't have any issue with going further into debt. The numbers don't mean anything to them, it seems. But when I look at it, see what is effectively the dot-com bubble. Oh, and that is a very scary thing to see, because it is much larger than that ever was. That sounds to me like data centers in space is like absolute detachment from reality. Cars, not only are you dealing with storage or winds, where in the world are you going to get water cooling up there? It's in outer space. That worked well. I mean, the housing crash was kind of a bubble in itself. Not a big one, but it was pretty bad. But again, I'm also not an economist, so I can't give you a super detailed history on. I love the tack of sticking a weapon in your outer ring and letting that get carried by. Just getting carried by your movement. Of course, I didn't really expect this guy to be capable of wiping my entire thing, all my weapons at once. You see, and just do that. Before, yeah, individual miracle is making this so easy compared to how it was. It was a very good choice for us because there's a lot of damage we're avoiding that normally we'll have to deal with. Actually just got an achievement for that fight. Neither of these blocks are that good for us, but we'll take them. We've got another fight coming up here. Right, yep, it's the dump fight. We really have to make sure we don't miss the freezing machine room, but it looks like we'll still get it regardless. Oh right, I know he picked up a lot of blocks. Yes, we can make a great sword. Oh right, paired great swords. Best I can do right there in that corner. Yeah, I would like to have another silver block, but it's fine. Or at least one word bronze block. Yep, it's been nearly 3 hours, but we're going to keep going. That sounds good, Gale. I would try and get yourself a break now if you can. Yeah, that was going to hit us, couldn't do much about it. Alright, I can take that one to the face, but the other one, I can't deal with. Okay, this is a bit of a mess, I'm just going to have to jump through. Shield box are so annoying. Alright. That worked out, I suppose. We saved Hace's friend. Hachi becomes her friend now. Looks like Mushroom Panic is up next. Don't know what's changed about this one. Rainbow Mushroom. Well, we ate the weird mushroom. Dunno if we were supposed to, didn't seem to help us very much. We'll open up some more space for the shield. At this point, worrying about the shield being only 2 blocks probably isn't necessary anymore. "10 damage off of it just isn't anything compared to what our primary weapon can do. Though it's not like we have much to stick on it, but a bunch of spikes. I guess we could put a spear on it. That is a thing we can do. Is it even possible to use space for cooling like that? It's cold in space, but I think they overestimate. Yeah. Cause there's nothing for the heat to easily transmit through. Unless they're going to absolutely lose their minds and think they need to start sending out oxygen there. Because the dirty wasting mobile water. They are already wasting all of the water. Why not waste all of the air too? Poor Haji. Being punished by the evil god machine for being a good boy. Alright, well, this is a spot we need to visit. We are going to see whatever the final ending is, provided we can beat the final fight. Yeah, the brain factory did not do too well. Hello, Typhon. many years is that? A 1,000 years doesn't sound about right. I see. So this is what created the God machine thing. As always, if it's obtained, a cold calculating machine, not something that cares. So they stuck real brains in it to hope that it would give it an actual sense of consciousness. Only question is who actually set this into motion to build this thing. Alright, so it's a time to keep going, I guess. Oh, those pesky shareholders. Oh, my forehead. Alright, this is all damaged. We can take except for that number 2 there. I was more so referring to the bullet that hit me in the head shimmy. Right, replay. I see the messages and like everyone in chat is somewhat warm color. Every single person is either a pink, a yellow, or orange. So when I have to look quickly to try and see what's going on, I just kind of happens. I will try to be more careful with it. Spikes, I guess. I'll take some spikes. I don't really need golden blocks, is the thing. Silver blocks would be nice, but I do worry about it a little bit, because it seems like it's on. It feels a bit disrespectful of your presence, if I can at least properly recognize, said something. I mean, it's bad enough that I can't say someone's name correctly. We are one silver block away of adding another sword. This mess, so I might do that. Did you see any? Because I don't even remember that. I have no recollection of being Cole's knee. That was a bit of a vocal stumble there. Can get a relic if I go this way. That's perfectly fine. Oh no, the focal stumble, that was just me weakly. I do have a bit of a stumble problem. Yeah, we don't have any blocks to change what we're doing here, so I'll take the 20 damage just because we have like 110 life in our pocket. Beautiful. Absolutely perfection. That is the exact relic. And understood, Shinny. Oh boy. This is going to be a bit of a thing. Yeah. Human brain is very good about remembering negative things, which includes inconsequential mistakes. And that same thing applies to me as well. I try not to let it get to me though. Sometimes the best thing you can do to overcome something like that is to prove you're better than whatever mistake it was. I know one thing that haunted me for years is that messed up a little bit at the spot I volunteered at and now work at. And it haunted me for a long time, but then I just kinda had my chance to do better at it, and I didn't mess it up that time. You've got to learn to take the wins where they come, you know. That's fine. Oh, believe me, I know. It's the brain is difficult to work with. But if we weren't irrational in some way, then we wouldn't have emotions. When I have indivisible miracle, the shield gaze are just the worst. Alright, final fight time. I'm not exactly sure how much I could do to upgrade or build, but we did get a lot of blocks, so I will try. We don't really have enough to extend to make another sword. We don't really have the space for it anyways. It'll be a little awkward, but I could put in. It upgrades some of the damage output. I don't know if it's really worth removing this hit range right here. I mean, knowing this boss, it might be better if I rotate the sword the point upwards. So I'm actually going to go through here. But one thing, bullets work very well in the sky. They don't work very well. Yeah, but this guy's stuff tends to block most bullets. I'm to do one small rearrangement here. Hopefully, this will let me stare from the backside. That's the idea, at least. I'll put some extra defense right there. Right, in we go. Word of the future doesn't help much on this fight. Shield will be our backup weapon if we need it, but primarily we want it to break so that way we can get the sword going, but even then, so always saw last time is that he abducted Yu's body. I don't know if I'd trust this. Kay is our dog now. Hot, she is the goddess boy. And we will not give up the power of friendship. A light so hard you can't help us in this fight, it seems. There we go, there's the bullets, they're coming in handy now. Beam is so good. Air. It was a little bit of a problem. I need to do something about this guy in front of me. Landed right on top of that one. Bullets should help to clear this out a little bit. Yup, that should be enough bullets flying that way to win this. Are you fool? Don't you realize that odd numbers don't work against me? There we go. He took enough work. Oh goodness, this game's gonna make me cry. Oh, come on, game. Oh, damn it. Oh, right, okay. They've got the proximity attacks. Oh, is it? Using my own weapons against me. Ouch! Yet this has lyrics, it seems. Alright, if I can just dodge this okay, time stop. Alright, weapons are back. That happening every time is getting really annoying. Again with this. Well, there goes my sword. But I got time lock, there we go. So this is who you was from the very start. We finally got her a happy ending. Well, that's it yet. Goddess was a good game. I'm trying to speak for my voice is choking hope. I should probably type then. But yay, this is definitely one of my favorite games of all time now. I'm good right in the emotional core, you know. You should probably get some sleep, Gale. Look at these monstrosity of weapons. Oh, we created some nightmares. My particular favorite is the first one on the second row there. You've got the tiny little bomb, and then you have the giant gun machine. Well, that was million death. I may return just to close out those last little timeline bits. But I saw about everything he really needed to see. I can always come back and play it on high difficulties if I want to get some gameplay. Only 18 hours. Incredibly good for that much time. Well, I will find someone the raid off in too. I imagine it's very late for all of us. I don't expect you to stick around. I don't imagine they do. But thank you all. I hope you all sleep very well as well. We'll go and send you off to Yuri. She's pretty good this fall asleep too. Either way, I'm happy to have this completed. I think this might be the first game we've fully finished on stream. I'll catch you all next time, probably on Wednesday as usual.